Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and today I'm going to be looking at some new cards that were recently revealed. There aren't a ton. There are, I think, like four, or I guess there's six because there's pre-evolutions. But four cards, and some of these, first of all, this Infinite looks super cool. I like that. Pincher's fine. But yeah, we got some really cool cards I want to take a look at. Nothing insane, but I figured, we should talk about these. First of all, we got Iron Leaves, which is unsurprisingly future. And first of all, this means that in terms of the future Pokemon, we've seen, I guess I'll start with Iron. It's really hard to search them as well, but we've seen most of them have or like have single prizers and EXs, but not all of them. So Iron Leaves is going to be another one. This also confirms that we're getting more future Pokemon beyond the next set, which is really cool. But anyways, we see the first stack for one Grass Recovery Net put up to two Pokemon from your discard into your hand. So this is the same as for Virizion from Silver Tempest. Nope. For Virizion from Fusion Strike? Yeah, with Bailout. So, yeah, that is why it's the same, I guess. This does have more HP as well, which is kind of cool. It's at 120, but that's not that much. But then the attack we're more interested in is Vengeful Edge, 160 for Grass Colorless. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out but damaged from an attack during your opponent's last turn, it does 90 more or 60 more. So it's going to be hitting obviously 160 for my voice. For Grass Colorless, which is okay. That's a pretty easy attack to pay. I don't know why I'm like choking. But yeah, so that's relatively easy. Well, it'd be easy if we had Raihan. It's only one grass and then two colors, so you could use like Mirage Gate. It's not too bad, but you can't use Luminous plus Double Turbo because that doesn't really work. But you could do Luminous plus a few other energies. And of course, the use here is it is grass types. You hit weakness on Charizard, which I think actually this is okay. The big issue, obviously, again, is it doesn't one-shot Charizard. So Charizard, EX, and for this like video, I want to kind of talk about the cards with how they relate to the current meta and also how similar they are to older cards. But Charizard EX obviously is good, right? It's arguably the best deck in the game, post-rotation and pre-rotation. And by the way, these are coming. Actually, I don't think we know when these are coming, but presumably these will be coming not during our next. They won't be coming in Temporal Forces. They'll be coming in the set after that, I'm assuming. But Charizard EX has 330 HP and is weak to grass, so it'll be 10 short. There are certainly ways to add 10 damage, though. The best one is arguably Vitality Band. That is just a tool that does it. And then we also have the Cobalion. There we go. Cobalion from Silver Tempest. Silver Tempest. Come on, click. There we go. With Justified Law that says your basic Pokemon's attacks do 30 more to your opponent's active Darkness Pokemon, which is pretty good. So you can use that with Iron Leaves, and then you can actually have. Is this before weakness? It is before weakness, and then Double Turbo. I think it's also before weakness, right? Yeah. So you can stick a double turbo and a grass for whatever reason. I don't know exactly why you'd be doing that, but then you'd be hitting 160 minus 20 plus 30. So 170, double that with weakness. You're getting a one shot exactly on Charizard, assuming they don't have extra HP, which they probably don't. And so honestly, I think this card's decent. I don't think it's amazing, mostly because I don't see a particularly great use for it. We don't have Cherim, and you could put in Lost Zone though. It's actually very similar to Tropius, which is rotating, which does 120 for Grass Colorless. Obviously, Grass Colorless is more than Grass Colorless, but I think this still could definitely be useful, and it does more, which is nice. As I said though, it doesn't quite get the one shot on Charizard, so I think it's a little too weak. I don't know. It's very close to being good enough though, and I think it will see a little bit of play. Although there's the Iron Leaf EX as well, which does need more grass energy, but does get the one shot, so it's kind of similar to that as well. Next up, we have Walking Wake, and this one I like this art. I like both of these arts. I think they're pretty cool. But Gain 20 for one water, heal 20. That's not completely useless. I'm not going to say it's completely useless. It can actually be good in certain scenarios, but pretty niche scenarios because its HP is relatively low. It is ancient. Oh, I didn't say Iron Leaves. You can stick on Future Booster Energy Capsule as well, which could be useful in certain scenarios. But aside from that, you have Walking Wake, which is pretty good here. That although I don't know if it's good enough, it can do Cleaving Wave for water colorless put up to 9 damage counters on this Pokemon, and it does 20 for each damage counter you put on them this way. Honestly, I don't know why it's 9. It could put up to 12, so it's kind of random. But you can put 90 on, and then you have 40 HP left. If you then decide to put on a tool that gives you more HP, you can obviously have more HP remaining. We have Bravery Charm, Ancient Booster, Energy Capsule, um, Hero Cape. There's the Luxurious Cape as well, so there are a lot of options, which will give you more HP after you've lowered your HP, but you don't necessarily need to be worried about that. 40 is low, but I think it's okay. I think if it was 30, it would be a little worse, but 40 is survivable. Like, there are a number of things to do 30, like, say, Comfy, which if you're getting KO'd by Comfy, that's not great because your opponent will certainly try to do that if they can get away with it. But yeah, you're hitting up to 180, though, which is, I don't know. Someone mentioned Kyogre, which hits 180 for 3, but or for 4, but it's also Snipe. Wait, no, it's 3. What is it? I don't play Chimpow. It is for 4. Yeah, okay. I was like, I think it's 4, and I thought it was 3. Yeah, so it's 4. 180 snipe to any of your opponent's Pokemon, and then you return the energy to your hand, which is probably better. Of course, this is less energy, and you could play it in not like Chien-Pao, technically, but it's pretty awkward to play in a deck that's not Chien-Pao. Again, you could put this in a Lost Zone based deck if you're running Radiant Greninja and the Water Energies. This is not terrible. 180 is a decent chunk of damage. Its typing is pretty bad. Obviously, I mentioned Charizard, and that's not a fire type. It's a darkness type. So Walking Awake, I don't think will be doing quite enough, but I don't think it's a terrible card either. I think both these have the potential to see play and might see played somewhere down the road, but they're also not amazing. Next up, however, we have some more interesting cards. This pincer is really interesting. I don't think it's good. I'm just gonna say I don't think it's good, but it's attack Slow Crunch, which is kind of like a weird attack name. Well, first of all, for grass colors, you can do 100. This is literally directly worse than Iron Leaves because it'll do 100, but probably more. But the attack here, Slow Crunch, discard all energy from this Pokemon. At the end of your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon will be knocked out. There are Pokemon like that right now. I think they're all evolutions. So there's Galarian. One of like the VMAX. I think it's Galarian Slowking VMAX. No, Galarian Slowking V. Okay, so that is a basic, but it is a two prizer. Arguably easier to power up. Probably is, but still. And then we also have Hisuian Zoroark, which sees play. Let me find it. There we go. That's the right card. And it sees play in Zoroark, which is kind of cool. Zoroark fun deck, rotating, but fun deck. But that is for free as well. But here, this is Grass Colors on a basic, which is relatively easy to pay, but still a little awkward. You don't have Raihan, so you're potentially looking at like a Lost Zone, or it can be teched in as well. It's not too bad to power up, but you do need to have something that like kind of gets energy on a little bit of acceleration probably. And the issue is this isn't like super good. It's obviously slow. It's in the name. I think you could pair this with Spite Ops EX to trap and then like one shot across 2 turns, which is kind of interesting. I'm not a massive fan, and actually it is good that it's at the end of your opponent's next turn, so you'll attack with this and then they'll die, assuming they don't switch, and then you attack with it again and they die. So it's okay. It's not amazing, obviously, but I think it'll be a fun little like YouTube video deck, honestly. Not my style YouTube video, but like Little Dark Fury, I imagine he'll be making a video on that. Next up, we got Chimchar and Manferno, but the big card, Infernape. The card looks sick as well. This art looks pretty decent. Wait, is this the same art? No, it's not. I was like, is it zoomed in? No, it's like a very different style as well. But I love this style as well. This style is so sick. But anyways, what it does, and some of you who may be a fan of a format I may be making a video on coming up may recognize this card. It's Fire Dancing, or the ability, which is Fire Dancing. Once during a turn, we attach a basic Fire Energy, a basic Fighting Energy, or one of each to your Pokemon in any way you like. And then Scorching Fire, 200 for Fire colorless, and discard an energy from this Pokemon. Of course, this card, that's right, it's Swampert. No, I mean, it's kind of like Swampert. Swampert from Fusion Strike, but it does one either water or fighting. But this is like Dragonite, right? From Unbroken, no, from Unified Minds. There we go. I was struggling to find the set name. There we go. No, yeah, Dragonite. Bro, come on. I shouldn't have. I was like, I'm going to show more cards. This is a struggle. There we go. Dragonite from Unified Minds. Same ability. I mean, different types, right? It's Dragon type, but it accelerates Water and Lightning. This is Fire type, accelerates Fire and Fighting. It's a pretty cool card. I don't know if it's good enough. It might be good enough. Obviously, it's. I think it would be good if and only if we see a Pokemon that has fire and fighting energy cost. If we do, though, I think it has potential to be pretty decent. It's obviously a little awkward to set up stage two, but not horrible. Stage twos are really good right now, arguably the best decks. And so you have this card, which is good. Its HP isn't super high, but its damage output is pretty decent, honestly. And then you can accelerate energy. There's nothing really right now that needs energy accelerated in this way. It's from your hand. So there's a Colossal as well. This is kind of like a Colossal. It's actually the same types as a Colossal, but from Rebel Clash. There we go. Tar generator, attach a fire energy and a fighting, or what? Yeah, yeah. So a fire or fighting or one of each, or I guess neither, but you can't really do that. And then to your Pokemon enemy, like these, yeah, but it's from your discard. So this one's probably better. This one, the old one, attached from your discard is probably better, and it wasn't particularly good. So I'm a bit skeptical for Infernape. The reason the Dragonite actually saw some play. Well, obviously it's really good in themed. What is this? Oh, this is a yeah, okay. I don't really know what's going on with this deck. I'm not very familiar with Slowduck. It's kind of terrible, but um anyway, so Hurricane Charge, obviously it's like the BDF, or arguably the BDF, but in that standard it's awesome play with Kyogre. Well, okay, it's all play I think in Japan with Kyogre, because in the internationally, I don't know, there's some like weird rotation thing. Um, I guess I hadn't rotated. I don't know. Oh, but with Lance Prism Star, so you can get into play easier, which the slow duck list actually ran. But ignoring that, you use Dragonite here, and then you can get into play semi easily. But obviously, evolving it normally is more difficult. So pretty much what I'm saying is, if we see a good attacker to pair with Infernape and like ways to get into play easier, then it'll be good. Otherwise, it won't be very good. I think if you get two in play, you're accelerating four energy every turn, but they are of two different types, so that's a little awkward. I do think this Infernape is pretty decent, but only time will tell, and I'm looking forward to seeing if it will be good. It's probably out of the four cards, the card I'm most hopeful for. But overall, I think any of the four could be okay, but they do need pieces. But anyway, I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about this. And like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.